Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM22 One Club story from Hemel Hempstead Town with me, Daniel. We're back for the Tudor Times today with part 11, and we've got an interesting game coming up. We're back one later than planned because what I forgot is that the Maidenhead game falls in the international break. We're without two players who have gone away on duty, three if you include a player that for some reason isn't in the team news. And we've also got an injury to Samir Carruthers. So with Barnet and Maidenhead in similar positions at the start, this seemed the more interesting one to show. You can see we've had a decent start, but we're very clearly away from the top sides in the league. So if you're looking forward to finding out whether we can get away from that relegation zone, we might be 7th, but we're only 5 points away, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM22 content from two long-term stories. We're on the beta schedule all week with Hemel at 11:30 and the head coach at 3:30. And then from next week, the two stories will rotate each day at the later time. You can find a link to the Twitch channel, the Data Hub special, and all the playlists up in the eye above. But a massive thank you for your support as always, as we're back after a pretty solid first month, I'd say. Yes, we've had a couple of quite friendly fixtures on paper. We saw one of them at home to Braintree last time, who ironically have started pretty well as well. They're up on 8 points, just 3 behind us. We've had the likes of Altrincham at home. We played Yeovil already. Sides that are really struggling in the league this season. And to be fair, of those teams above us near the top, I think we've only played Stockport and Wrexham so far, and haven't done particularly well in either of them. So let's go and start by having a look at the schedule for what's happened since you were last with me. And the truth is, the games we'd expected to get results, largely we have. And we've even nicked the odd point everywhere else where we didn't expect to. So probably based on this season so far, the only disappointment is we dropped 2 points against Braintree that I think we should have won. We then gained them back against Yeovil where I'd have hoped for a draw. And then perhaps we got a draw at Stockport that I didn't expect. So overall, we're probably 1 point above my target. We've got another crucial month coming up now with none of the real top sides in the league, albeit a couple of them have started pretty well, surprisingly. But then when we get to that awful run that will probably start in the next episode, whatever the FA Cup game is, Carlisle, who look like they're going to run away with the league, 7 wins out of 7 for them. I think Bromley were up there as well. Notts County certainly are. Bromley are... Oh no, they're 12th. They're 2 points behind us. But Carlisle, Notts County up in the top 5. Torquay, one of the pre-season favourites. Hartlepool relegated from the league last year. And Chesterfield, a big playoff contender too. That run of 6 or 7 games is probably going to define whether we're upper mid-table to the middle of the league. So bottom half of the top half. Or are we going to be down fighting the relegation zone? I guess the next month or so we can give ourselves a bit of a buffer. But we start with Maidenhead. Let's get through the 6 games we played off camera. Back-to-back defeats mean our unbeaten run is over. David Gregory has lost a game now since joining the club. Took long enough though, I'm sure he'll be happy. We played away at Yeovil, got a brilliant win there. Oganteo scoring a back post header, he came in for the tired Dobson. Sedende got a late second just as we were about to start time wasting. A 1-0 win at home to Altrincham, Manton scored a penalty but we were brilliant throughout. Then the defeat came, 2-0 at Wrexham, Paul Mullin and Billy Chadwick. We held them off for an hour. We did really well, but we ran out of steam. You can see we had to rest nearly everyone, because we had 3 games in a week yet again. We saw the damage the Braintree game did to the 2 after it, certainly in terms of team selection, so I made the decision to rest players for the first one this time, and obviously we ended up losing this game. We did lose 1-0 at home to Southend as well, a very good side who were expected to be in the top half. But then a really encouraging draw away at Stockport. We got pegged back before half-time after Marsh Brown's early goal. And we still managed to get a point. We looked really solid in the second half. Carson probably assured his place as first choice in that game. Away today, of course, so Fraser Shaw will get a chance. But I was really pleased with that one. I was more pleased, though, with this win. We had a great time against Barnet in the FA Trophy last year. But we played them off the park in this game. Ochieng and Sedende with the goals. Samir Carruthers had played really well till he got the injury. And because it was a side fairly local to us, we got nearly 1,500 through the gate. After we were here last time, we sold another 50 season tickets, so we've over doubled up what we had last season. The difficulty is, on days like today, when we're playing solid National League sides like Maidenhead, can we afford to be without 3 or 4 stars? The answer is going to come in a second. We'll try and get the Halifax game in as well. But firstly, we've got one sign-in to introduce. I show you the one who came in, no surprises. It's Oliver Turner, who we were looking at last time around. 3 appearances so far, has done really poorly, but he is gaining his match sharpness. So with Samir Carruthers out injured, he'll probably get another go today. And we're just going to have to give him a little bit of time to get to his best, because if we can keep him fit and if we can get him firing, we've got one hell of a player on our hands. So let's go and get into the first one away at Maidenhead. We are without a few players for this one. They're all the way down in 18th, but they're only 5 points behind us. The same as Halifax we play next weekend. 1 point behind us, but 4 places off. If we lose them both, conceivably we could be in or very near the relegation zone. So don't get too excited by the start. There's a big 4-point gap above us and Woking to Notts County, and maybe bar Kings Lynn, which is an early surprise. The rest of those could very well be a runaway top 4. So let's get through the tactics. Let's go and pick our team. A few changes that need to be made. We'll be back in a minute to run through the 11 that's tasked with getting a result at Maidenhead in the international break. And this, I think, is what we're going to go for. It's not the weakest first 11 in the world. We're certainly not disappointed with that. What we see when we get to games like this is that we're stretched squad-wise. We've barely got a 16, and then after that, we're talking about the players that were on the emergency-free loans and the emergency-free non-contract terms. So we're very much down to this 16 now, and if we lose any more players after this, could be in a little spot of bother. What we are going to see for the first time since I joined the club, as we'd planned for the international break, is Jack Senga getting a go in the holding role. Gregory starts between the sticks. Of course, we've lost that air of invincibility now, but he is having a very good start to the season. Simpson and Shaw the fullback. Simpson struggling a little at this level. In centre-half positions, we've got Kopekwa and Harbottle. Senga behind Mantum and Ollie Turner as our midfield 3. And then Dobson, not had a great start to the year, but back in alongside Marsh Brown behind Sedende up front. 2 goals for Victor Sedende. It is the area where we've struggled the most this year. But to be fair, till October last season, we could barely score a goal. After that, we were absolutely brilliant. So I wouldn't mind the same again here. Might be a little bit tougher this year. 4 changes from the last game, 3 of them enforced. Now let's see if we can get a result against Maidenhead. And this is the side for our hosts. A good manager in Alan Devonshire. They normally play good football in real life, so I'm expecting the same here. The likes of Matt Tootle, Alan Massey the skipper, and Charlie Adams, all very good players. Levan Brandy is someone we had on trial, I think it might have been last season, the start of the first year, as our right winger option, and he was far better than Marsh Brown that summer. We just couldn't afford him. So I think we're going to be coming up against some quality footballers. Andrew Williams is a goal scorer. They've got class all over the pitch. This is going to be a tough game, but if we're at our best, we can compete. And again, away from home, I just want to pick up points, whether it's 1 or 3 at the minute. And early doors, we've got a throw-in on the left-hand side, just in front of halfway. Shaw plays a 1-2 with Turner, into the back post to Marsh Brown. It's a great save by Knightbridge, the keeper, and it's cleared as far as Simpson, who gives it to the skipper. Turner chips up to Marsh Brown again. That is a fabulous start and a really good goal. Maidenhead 0, Hemel Hempstead 1. Marsh Brown with a second time lucky gets the goal. But Ollie Turner, we've not seen much from him since he joined, but that was an absolutely wicked delivery. Brilliant ball through, 1-0 to the visitors. And we're on course for a result again. We just keep picking up plucky results. However, as we're back just past the half an hour mark, we're now seeing the other side of Ollie Turner. Suggested to have pulled a back muscle and might need replacing, though Dobson's in on the left. Knightbridge makes the save. Maidenhead have just not come out the traps today. I'm going to take Turner off at half time because I don't want to have any risks with him. But he's made his contribution. We've got a corner to defend first though. Barrett with an outswinger, headed away by Harbottle. Getting better as the games go on. Kopekwa doing really well this season. Still rated the best player at the club. 4.5 star ability. Next one's 3.5 as Barrett's in at the back post. His header's just over the bar. Simpson lost out there. But it looks like we're going to survive to half time. And despite being a very even game, again, we're just about on the right side of the scoreline. Plucky little Hemel Hempstead are at it again. So let's tell the lads that we're very happy. Let's give Ollie Turner a rest. Although he looks pretty fit now. So I'll leave it 15 more minutes. But if there's any suggestion that he needs to come off again, then we'll just do it straight away. Well, we're coming up to the hour mark. We've got a free kick with Harbottle. There's some lovely football quick there. Sedende to Turner. 2 out on the left. Goes short to Dobson. What a turn. That is round his man. And what an arrival in the National League for James Dobson. That is a fabulous turn and strike. Lovely little turn round the defender. Whipped it into the far post. His first goal of the season. Last week it was Oshieng scoring his first goal for the club. And Ollie Turner turns up with another assist. We're going to go and give him a rest now because he did get that knock earlier. And it does allow us to put Mantum as the playmaker, Brook as the box-to-box, just have that slight more defensive solidity back there. But this has been a fabulous display. It's been a pretty even one, but we've taken advantage. And actually, second half, we've got even better. So with 20 minutes to go, I'm going to look at other subs as well. Kopekwa's always the most tired, but he's too good to take off. As Shaw delivers to the back post. Marsh Brown won't get there. Wells hoofs it away downfield. Maidenhead chase, but Harbottle there first. Gives it down the line to Simpson. Back to his centre half again. Wouldn't mind us just passing it about here. Back to Gregory, to Kopekwa. I'm so proud of this Hemel side. If we can hold on for this one, we start to create a bit of a buffer to the relegation zone. That's the only aim at the moment. As Shaw delivers from the left. Marsh Brown's up again. Heads just over the bar. Very good opportunities. We're creating them at will. And to be honest, Maidenhead look all over the shop. They're stunned by this. We've got to bear in mind that Dobson's in his 30s now. He's had his best game in the league by far. So Ellis Watts will come on for him. Or in fact, I think I'm going to bring on Oganteo for him. And then we're going to bring on Ellis Watts for Mantum in the middle, who's on a yellow, just struggling a little. And that's why we've got Watts on the bench. He can play 4 positions. He can come on in any of them. And he does a solid job, as I'm sure he will here. Knightbridge with a goal kick for Maidenhead, though. They will chase the game. Look how many they've committed forward. Harbottle goes up against Miembe, but he's just too strong. Gets down the left wing. Shows the quality as well. Kopekwa heads the cross clear. Marsh Brown up towards Sedende, who ran the wrong way. Just a little bit of miscommunication there. Flicked onto Miembe. It's one for Maidenhead. But the flag will save us again. Brilliant offside line. Brilliant work from the lads. This is dreamland. We're up to 14 points. We're still in 7th place. But that buffer is getting bigger to the bottom 4. As it's a long ball forward from Gregory. Doesn't find its target. Chipped up towards Miembe. Harbottle's missed it. Miembe gets in with a shot. It's comfortably wide. We're going to drop to cautious for stoppage time. But I can't ask for much more. These lads are giving us everything. And despite a couple of defeats against the top sides in the league, we're using the momentum from last season. And for that one, we look brilliant value for the win. That was with Oshieng on international duty. That was with Dobson on international duty. It was with Dejon Noel-Williams away as well, with Samir Carruthers injured. But it doesn't stop the Hemel Hempstead train. Now we've got a real start to build on. And Halifax up next. If we can beat them, we'd be 7 points clear of them. That's easier said than done though. We'll be back in a moment. Fitness test time ahead of the Halifax game, and we have got big decisions to make. We're at the start of another 3-game week. We've got Dagenham and Redbridge expected to be in the top half, but started woefully, and Woking to come next Saturday. However, we've got Carruthers back from injury, 3 back from international honours. And we've got to make the decision. Do we stick with what we had last time out that did so well at Maidenhead? Or do we freshen it up and go for what I believe is the best team today? Let's go and have a look at the fitness situation, which should be good after a week off in truth, and see what the assistant recommends. So he's saying Ochieng and Carson back in, Oganteo, who was the best trainer at the club, back in. But Dobson was brilliant in the last game. Senga and Fraser Shaw didn't put a foot wrong in that defensive display. How can I take them all out? So Senga wasn't brilliant and his tactical familiarity isn't great. So Ochieng in for him would make sense, but his fitness is slightly off and he's got a heavy match load. But do we need him more for the away game? I would argue we do. So let's put Senga back in again. Fraser Shaw at left back had a good game. I don't think we can take him out. And what else have we got really? The only other one is Carruthers, but Turner was fantastic. Dobson had a good game. So maybe we'll put some of them back on the bench, but I don't think we can start them. I'm going to go for Ochieng in place of Watts, because we've got Brown Sterling who can play on the right and Oganteo on the left, Brook in the middle. Is that the right decision? I'm not sure. And then the other one, Chris Paul can come off for Carruthers. No, I'm going to take Ochieng back off the bench. He needs a rest. We cannot overplay players. So Ellis Watts back in. We've got Senga who can drop into centre half. So we're going to stick with exactly the same 11 that played last weekend, that did brilliantly at Maidenhead. A couple of the others integrated onto the substitutes bench. But I think we're going to take the bold decision based on the last performance. Some very good news quickly. The standout man this year is definitely Cole Kopekwa. And then we had Cheltenham sniffing around him. League One clubs chasing him. So I got him tied down to a new deal. We've given him an extra 25 quid a week, but we've got him down for 2 years. And now, if a club wants to come in for him, we're going to have to entertain bids of 50 grand or so. And depending on where we are financially, where we are in the league, we might start to consider it then. But at 26, he's the best player at the club. And he's been the best performer so far, crucial to the clean sheets we've kept. And hopefully, the same will be the case again today. Same team as last time out against Maidenhead. Let's hope it's the same outcome too. And here we go. 5 changes for Halifax. Out go the likes of Anthony Grant, Tom Bradbury, Harvey Gilmore. Just shows how strong their squad is. Danny Rowe coming in, Bradley Gibbons. They've got the likes of Matt Warburton, Billy Waters. They're a top side. But Maidenhead had great players too, and we delivered. Let's ask the lads to pick up where they left off. It's the same team. There shouldn't be a problem with continuity. There shouldn't be an issue with understanding the instruction. But it's against a different tactic and a different side. I'd imagine this will be a little bit tougher. Having said that, we've not seen a highlight yet, but with half an hour gone, Halifax yet to test our goal. We've had 7 shots and 5 on target. So even if we do end up drawing this game, we're making a good fist of it. And if we don't concede any chances, we're not going to let in any goals. We're not going to lose a point. And that is all I can ask for at this stage. No shots for Halifax. Loads for us, but not really great ones considering the expected goals and no highlights being shown. But we're going to tell the lads to keep it up. We're the better team against solid National League sides. And I'll take a point. 4 points out of 6 in this episode is beyond my wildest dreams. And the way we're playing at the moment, we don't really look like conceding. The momentum has carried on. The team is playing at its very best. And look at Cole Kopekwa again, the standout man in this side. We've got a few attacking players not quite at the races, so we will make the changes this time. Samir Carruthers will come back in for Ollie Turner. We're also going to take off Dobson for Oganteo. A little bit of pace down the wing. And we could take off Sedende or Marsh Brown, but for now, just going to leave it 5 or 10 more minutes because I'm pretty happy with how we're playing. Even though we've gone 68 minutes without a highlight, we're dominating the stats and we look like we're on course for at least a point. I can't ask for more. We're just under 15 to go. Sedende's not having a great game, so we might as well give Brown Sterling a run out. He deserves a little chance every now and then. And maybe that's the difference between 0-0 and 1-0. But at the moment, we might see our first ever game of either career where we don't have a highlight through the whole thing. Which is remarkable when we've had 10 shots on target. Not one highlight, but a fabulous result. I will take that every day. We're settling into the National League nicely. 4 points out of 6 against solid, established sides at this level. And although we don't move position, we're still in 7th place, albeit there's a few sides getting closer to us. We finished the episode 8 points clear of the relegation zone. And that is an incredible achievement. The top 4 now have established themselves. They're going to run away with the league. But the signs at this stage are that we're going to be able to finish mid-table. And if we can have a season where we stay up, and more importantly, don't really have to worry about relegation at any point, I think I consider that a massive achievement. It maybe then allows us in a couple of weeks' time to have a go at the FA Cup when the 4th qualifying round comes along. Maybe try and make a bit of money for the club. Try and improve the facilities for the future. Cole Kopekwa, he's man of the match every game. How many has he had this season? 5 out of 8. He is a rock at the back. And there is no surprise to me that his form has coincided with, if I show you the full table, us conceding 4 goals in 9 games. We've scored 8 goals, which is the second least in the league. But nobody has got a sterner defence than us. Cole Kopekwa, you absolute superstar. And he's tied down for 2 years as well. Let's see when we're next going to be back. It will partly depend on who we get in the 4th round of FA qualifying. Of course, depending on replays and things, there's probably going to be a few games rescheduled around that point. But I want to show Carlisle away as it stands. Because at the moment, they're running away with the league. And I feel it'd be a great test against the big side who came down last year. We've also got Notts County away, a repeat of the FA Trophy final. So it will definitely be something in and around there. And I think that run of 6 league fixtures is when we're going to find out just how good we are. We can keep picking up points before it though. I'll be a very happy man. If you did enjoy this episode, a strong doubleheader on the pitch, another new signing to look forward to, and just a really settled team in the National League. I feel like I've made the right decision in not trying to replace lots of players and get the big upgrades that were potentially there. We're saving money, we're keeping the momentum, and we're going to be established. There is no risk to me that unless we turn completely and lose loads of players, that we're going to be going down this season. So if you did enjoy it, please do chuck a thumbs up on the video. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the performances. If you want to stay up to date with both long-term stories, please do subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. We've got episodes every day this week at 11:30 from this save, at 3:30 from our head coach story. And then from next week, we'll have daily content at 3:30 with a few other specials coming from Cricket 22 and FM Mobile as well. But a massive thank you for watching as always. You can find links to anything you may have missed in the eye above, as well as the Twitch channel for live streams too. And I'll see you next time as we really get our test, as the big sides come thick and fast in the National League. I'll see you there.